So now we're talking about the lymphatic system, which is a big thing to talk about, and we're of course galloping through the prairies as fast as we can to really cover big parts of material, and you're really welcome to go deeper in each of those ideas, watching, listening to Morse, Dr. Morse, and reading your books on the themes. But today I want to touch the main ideas of how the lymphatic system functions. And I think first of all nobody knows how it really functions, but that's assumptions based on practical approach. Again, well, if you want to clean the lymph, you clean it through kidneys. So everybody has heard that body consists of 75 to 90% of water, depending on the stage of the development between fetal development and then an 90-year-old person, something like that. The further we move on in our lives, the less water we have in our systems. Percentage changes. But in fact, after a body is cremated at the end of our earthly journey, what's left over is not a lot. It's about 1-2 kg of ashes.
Is that it?
It's not more than that. It's the body water extracted. It's what we have left over, and that's what we got. The rest is water. Out of that water, 25% is blood. Only 25%, and the blood is kept clean at the acidity of the pH of 7.54, except and constant. There's no parasites in blood, and there's no waste in blood. Not for a long time. It's being filtered through the liver and moved out, ideally moved into the lymph, so it can be moved out from the body altogether. But there, the problem starts. Those 75% of bodily fluids called lymph very often cannot drain properly through the kidneys as it should. Also, we do not have enough movement so it could drain from the body through perspiration, and some of it would drain through the breath, the morning bad breath, and that. It's also toxicity trying to get out of the system. But it's only so much that you can remove through the lungs, truly. It should be drained through the kidneys naturally. It does not happen. So this toxicity buildup starts, like the body's internal fluids start becoming toxic and acidic and thick and not moving properly through the body as they should. The blood can get also too thick if we do not drink enough water, and the body self-protects itself by creating these cholesterol layers on the blood vessels. And to remove cholesterol chemically, taking pills would actually put a big load on the liver and thinning the blood, so that it can move through those blood vessels better and not create wrong blood pressure. Doing it chemically only puts a load on the liver, which puts a load on the elimination system but does not solve the problem. So if your body gets too thick or your internal liquids get too thick, you have to drink more water. And that actually drinking water is the main thing to keep the lymph fluid and moving. It's the first and foremost thing. And actually you can heal most of your diseases if you intake enough water and salt for 3 months straight, and see what gets solved by itself already, just because of that acidity from the lymphatic system can get diluted and move better. Enough water can heal internal organs like nothing else. And there's this beautiful book, I cannot pronounce the name correctly now. The Indian doctor who wrote it. We'll do it later. So this book is called you're not sick, you are thirsty. And it works upon that matter, how you can heal your body just by drinking enough water and taking enough salt. So, lymphatic system and the bodily fluids as such. So nobody really knows how the lymphatic system is situated in the body. It's a bit hard to explore, like using the regular methods of how the anatomy of the body is like put together. But the idea is that the lymphatic system is not circular. It's not a circulatory system. It starts in the cells of the body. It's connected to every cell of the body, including the skin and the inner organs. And then there's these lymphatic ducts which become thicker and thicker, and they end a lot in the sinus, inside the sinus and the lungs. And then the other end is, some people say small intestine, and somehow they do drain through the kidneys. So they end about here. And the same with feet. They start very, very tiny, like capillaries, so they go one way. And they end here, much thicker. Then we have the lymph nodes in the armpits and in the groins and here under the jaw joints. If our system is infected, then the lymph nodes will get inflamed. It's through the lymph that also the toxicity of the battle of the white blood cells against the viruses and other intruders gets drained out of the system. So it can get blocked during infections. So we have the lymph nodes which you can really feel with children and grown-ups. And that's it also. Very often if we start detoxing our body without first detoxing the kidneys and making them work, we often get colds. We often get mucus come out through our lungs and sinus. That's the lymph trying to drain the other way around. And I've heard of people who started lymph detox without any preparation for it, and they get like sick with amazing amounts of mucus in their lungs and sinus for like 3-4 weeks, which is a cycle of the lymph cleanse, as I learned today from my osteopath. That can be avoided. So basically, you come to the point in your life where you're full of toxicity and mucus in your lymphatic system, and definitely acidity and die-offs of all sorts of parasites through all sorts of stages of your life, viruses and all that. Your lymphatic system is blocked and not functioning, not draining. So there's a couple of things you can do besides herbs, which I'll touch later. Rhythmic movement, like walking in nature for half an hour a day. So feet hitting the ground, body moving in a rhythmic way. Then you can jump on trampoline. That's very important for moving of the lymphatic system. And then there's dry brushing, which I myself use twice a day, because see, my lymphatic system is also a little slow. It has slightly different reasons than over-toxicity, but it is a little slow. So you take the dry brush, you can have one which you can put on the hand, so with the brush part on your palm, and it's made of natural, it's probably made of horse tail, something like that. And you go from the extremities, from the fingertips and from your toes, through the body towards your small intestine. You go through the whole body, and you sort of activate the lymph through this tickly touch on your skin, and you move it. It liquefies the lymph. You'll start feeling how your sinus decongest. Well, you do this and it moves towards where it can be drained. I believe, to my own observations and understanding, that the mucus from the lymphatic system drains through the small intestine while the liquids are being filtered by the kidneys. And then the liquids get returned to the lymphatic system and to the blood, probably. I may be wrong. And that part of physiology is little explored by the traditional medicine. But approximately, if you go that way, the practical effect is good. So then there is this contrast showers. If anybody wants to move their cellulite, they'll be rubbing their skin with like rough towels and doing the contrast baths, like showers between hot and cold. The Russians have the system of going out in the snow and pouring cold water on top of themselves, so to get the lymphatic system moving and the whole body activated. Then there is saunas, especially if you follow the sauna up with a cold bath, especially ice cold bath, or swim. What else? What a lymph. More on the lymph. Exercise, definitely exercise where you sweat. Then a lot of the dirt, the toxicity from the lymph can be removed through your skin. Hot climates, they're probably better on humans. And cold climates, it's also important to make us share this observation. Southeast Asians are less prone to cellulite than Northern Europeans, let's say, or even Northern Chinese. I think it's the weather which makes you drink more and which takes naturally a lot more sweat on your body. There's the ways to move lymph, which I remember right now. There can be more. And then the herbal ways. And so I would like to move towards how you can use the main herbs to clean your system, get your elimination system working. So here I've lined up half of our herbal line products who could help you support your elimination system. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 formulas out of 35. And that's a big part of it. All except for one. For the mold detox, I've taken out all our formulas in orange. The cleanse formulas. Of course, logical. But not only, because I actually want to mention something very important. The kidney function is often impaired by stress, and again by nervous system which cannot move into the parasympathetic mode of relaxation and recovery. So first of all, if our adrenals are weak, and these are the tiny little glands on top of the kidneys which are affected by stress, which are responsible for our fight and flight response in extreme life situations, and unfortunately our whole life has become an extreme life situation in the perception of our brain and nervous system, so we're constantly draining our adrenals, and once they're drained enough, they start dysfunctioning, and that affects directly the kidney function. First of all, the kidney elimination function. So we've got to support those kidneys also energetically, not only clean them. We got to have the nervous system functioning properly, even for this elimination function. That's really the number one. We really need to concentrate on, really to be able to relax and build in. First of all, we'll need to build into the day the activities that help us relax, like long walks, slow walks in the nature, especially before we sleep, so we can have this deep and nourishing sleep, and recover while we sleep, so the body can self-eliminate the waste while we sleep. So then we'll be working on supporting our kidney function. We've got a lot of formulas. These four are tonics. Life force. So I was talking about adrenal builder, right? To build the adrenal glands, which will have a lot to do with the body self-eliminating self-detoxing function. So then we have life force, which strengthens the kidney energy, which strengthens the kidneys in the function energetically, so they can really be healthy and functional, right? It's not enough to move out the toxicity and stones of the kidneys. You've got to have those cells of the kidneys really going. So then there is power tonic, which will actually improve the function of all inner organs, including kidneys and adrenals and liver, intestines, everything. It's got a couple of herbs which are adaptogens, also helping adapt to the stressful life situations, periods, sort of fix the damage created by stress on the whole body. So then we have immune strength, which contains the chaga, the reishi mushroom, agaricus, and there's even some more, 4 mushrooms in total, used for longevity. And it, of course, as the name says, immune strength, it improves the body's immune function, but definitely strengthens the whole body, including the kidneys and adrenals. And sometimes when your kidneys and adrenals, or also liver, intestines, whatever of the inner organs is in really bad shape, your body is weakened and cannot function properly in any way, you would use heal all. It could be also applicable for the digestive system, heal all. That's something that helps your body cells to renew themselves, to regenerate, to create themselves healthy again. In certain cases you'll have to use it. So then we can move towards how we really eliminate the waste and make the elimination organs functioning. So there we go. We'll start with the pollen. So there we go, about growing our elimination organs. We have these 3 formulas for colon and intestine cleanse. Remember the seer of 1,000 illnesses, the colon, the intestinal system. We got to clean the waste out and heal the intestinal system, the intestinal walls, so that this organ can function properly. Take out the parasites, add the anti-parasites. These 4 formulas work on that matter. There'll be a lot of repeated things here, but I'll say it again from the beginning. We have this colon cleanse plus formula if your body is really unable to move stool. That's where you start in general. If you cannot move stool, if your intestines are really out of function. Or otherwise you start with a colon cleanse to remove about 3 to 20 kg of waste out of your large intestine through your anus within 2 to 3 cycles of 4 weeks each. You take the needed amount of it for the body to move out stool about 3-4 times a day without getting a diarrhea. That's the goal, and that's the process. And it's going to be surprising what your body can move out. Be ready to clean up, like to improve the air of your bathroom for the sake of the other members of your family. So anyway, followed up by intestine broom, which is normally enough to use for a month, like a cycle of 4 weeks. In some cases, like 6 weeks after the colon cleanse, after the accomplished colon cleanse. And some people who are slightly weak, they would use only intestinal broom. Also during pregnancy and breastfeeding, it would be sometimes good to not waste too much extra toxicity in your body. So that's what intestine broom. While colon cleanse and colon cleanse plus you use only with meals, with large meals, to not disturb, not irritate your intestinal lining and also stomach lining. The intestine broom is different. You'll be using it without taking any other herbs at that same time, between meals, with only pure water, twice a day. And you can combine that with anti-parasite. If your system has tendency to have liquidy, undigested stools, that does not mean that you don't need to clean the intestines. No, it means that you have to start with the anti-parasite to get the stools of the right consistency and move out the amoeba, which you probably chronically have in your system in those occasions. It will also improve your spleen and gently, as a matter of fact, and harden your stools, and then you can start using the colon cleanse. And you can use it together with a colon cleanse, like 1 capsule of anti-parasite to 1 capsule of colon cleanse or intestine broom, so to not have this effect, unwanted effect of stools hardening and getting harder to move out of the body. That's how you take care of your intestines, and it does take a while, although it's the fastest process of it all if you compare it to the other elimination organs. Then we come to the liver, and it's important actually to suggest to cleanse your intestines while you're also supporting your liver and your kidneys. If you don't do that, you may get to unwanted detox reactions, which are created by extra toxicity floating through your body, which can happen, like you get like skin diseases or fungal diseases, things from your old past getting woken up and appearing as symptoms. You can get colds and you can get headaches, and you can become dizzy, and you can have like vomiting reactions. You don't want to have that. It's really tough. I mean, you don't want to have a detox reaction. That's why you better support kidneys and liver from the day one that you're cleansing the intestines. So about the liver, we have this liver and blood health formula. You would be taking it as long as you take the intestinal cleanse, the colon cleanse and intestine broom and parasite cleanse, and a little longer than that. It will move the toxicity out of your liver, especially those so-called liver stones, basically up to thumb size creations of cholesterol and fats inside your liver, which block the gout ducts. And it will heal the liver, so that the liver can do its function in cleaning, cleansing the blood, filtering the blood. And we have the stone dissolver, which works on liver inflammations. I mean, if you see a red-faced person, or you are one, and having like pimples and skin problems on your face, definitely you will need this one. And if you take it for a month, your stones will gently be dissolved. Those stones and creations in your liver, which are not yet stones, and then those stones in the gallbladder and stones in the kidneys, they get nicely dissolved and removed out of your system, so your organs can breathe freely. Actually, to move those stones out in different ways, it's possible, but it's a very weary process which takes a lot of the energy in the body. You have to do it really in a very knowledgeable way. Do not harm yourself. So this one is easier. Do it for 4 to 6 weeks and you'll be stone free without tough cleanses. So stone dissolver will cover a bit of the kidney issue also. What happens with the kidneys is that with time we get crystals, sands and stones in them, plus inflammations. And all of that will definitely tell upon how you feel. Of course, getting more acidity in your body, you'll feel that in many different ways, like tired in the mornings and prone to sicknesses, lowered immunity, bone deformations, joint pains, like all sorts of inflammations in the body, all comes from acidity. That's coming from the kidneys' incapacity to filter the lymph fluids. But the kidneys itself will have effect. Like inflammation or stones in kidneys will create pain in your lower back, in your knees, in your hips, and in your ankles. Not only pain, but difficulties to move, uneasiness, stiffness, all of that, all the joints from the waist down, they're connected to kidney weakness. All the weakness in those joints are connected to kidney weakness, inflammation, or stones. So you want to clean it all out. You take the kidney cleanse for like about 2 months. You would basically take it as long as you take the colon cleanse and the lymph cleanse for a long, long time until your body fluids really get cleared. In the harder cases, please use a stone dissolver to move out the kidney stones without surgery or any other hazards that it can create. Because if a kidney stone starts moving out through your urinary tract, it's very painful. It creates a lot of like injury and inflammation even in that process. There's an easy way to everything. Thanks, herbs. Then we move to the lymph system only then and after. Once things are already working quite fine, we can start cleaning the lymph. I wouldn't start with the lymph cleanse any day before like your kidneys have started filtering properly. That is about 2 to 3 weeks after you've started the kidney cleanse formula. And in the cases when you start with really bad lower back pain and kidney kidney inflammation and blood in the urine, you gotta take the kidney cleanse longer before you can start on the lymph. Do the urine test. If your urine is still clear, don't start the lymph. If your urine is smoky or sediments or flakes swimming in it when you look through it to the light, you can start the lymph detox. You'll start slowly with 2-3 capsules a day and raise it within like a capsule a week up to like 8 capsules a day. That's where your lymphatic system can really drain. And about the length of how long you need to clean your lymphatic system, like the first effects will show themselves in about 2-3 months of that lymph detox. using of this formula. I'm talking about increased, like improved tone of your skin, less wrinkles, less cellulite, or no cellulite, younger looks in general, but to really move out all the toxicity of those, how many? So if, like generally half of your body weight of the lymphatic fluids, you'll need up to 2 years, which will become better and better as the lymphatic system already becomes cleaner and cleaner. And it's also good to support yourself with alkaline diet and green juices, fresh pressed green juices and stuff like that, veggie juices in general. And then we have created, has created this lump and cyst buster. Lump and cyst buster, extra strength lymph detox. I have to say, where the body is clean and functioning, where the body is healthy, there is no place for disease, and there's also, it's the same with cancer, with diabetes, with hepatitis, with cancer, and all these big problems of humanity. I have to say we have not specialized in treating cancer patients, no. And it's very important to do the homework and figure out what is blocking in your energy, in the body, what kind of trauma you're still carrying, what you're not happy about in your life, change the course of life so things can move. But then there's herbs to take out the toxicity out of your system and up to the point of moving out like lumps and cysts and tumors out of your body. Dissolving them slowly and gently and taking them out through the lymphatic cleaning ways, elimination ways. That issue is a little bit more complicated than just cleansing the body. Be very sure you do a lot of self-study or work with people who have experience in those fields. But this formula is in those cases very useful in those cases when you have, there is the case of benign tumors and simple lymph blockages which express themselves as lumps in the breast, for example. So these are easily removed with this formula. Just don't do it straight away first. Make sure the kidneys are functioning. Second, do the lymph cleanse, lymph detox for at least a month to 2 months before starting this. And definitely do some lymph moving exercises, which I mentioned before. And then we have this metals and chemicals formula. There is sometimes this situation that our body, deep in its cells, even the brain cells, it carries metals and chemicals from long ago, because these are hard to remove out of your system. So in this formula, there's a couple of substances that will release, chelate, those heavy metals, another type of chemical intoxication, toxicity, and then there's also good material like microelements which your body needs to replace the space that the heavy metals and chemicals have been taking in your cells. This is not the strongest formula in that matter that I've seen, but it's definitely helpful. And you can also use the living minerals formula for that matter. When you're working on heavy metals, removing heavy metals and chemicals out of your system. So here we go. It will take quite a while to put those packs back where they belong, but all of it is what improves one of the main organ systems, the elimination system. And I would like to hear questions if we have.
I guess I just want to clarify. So you say start with rebuilding before you start cleansing, correct?
You need to see where the system is at.
Okay.
Some systems will need rebuilding before before you start cleansing. Some systems will do just fine when you do the cleansing along with the rebuilding, and in rare cases you can do the cleansing without the rebuilding. But that will be like really much less of a percentage. It's very good to combine the rebuilding and tonic herbs with the cleanse herbs for the ease of the process and for the best results. Is it all?
I think that's it.
Okay. Then that's all for this big chapter.